In April of this year, the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee unanimously found that Russia interfered with our elections and attempted to undermine American democracy, correct?
And I said so too.
Is it ever appropriate, sir, for the president to solicit or accept foreign assistance in an election?
It depends what kind of assistance.
Is it ever appropriate for the president or presidential candidate to accept or solicit foreign assistance of any kind in his or her election?
No, it's not appropriate.
Okay, I'm sorry you had to struggle with that one, Mr. Attorney General.
They were very free to make an article about everything.
Does it have to be true or could it be false?
It should be true always, all the time.
So all your articles have been true?
Actually, it's not about true, it's about is it biased or not. We've taken the story from any mainstream media and we represent it to our audience in a way what we are thinking should be on their mind.
We are going to make this decision now. The Fox News decision desk has called Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. This means that Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States. This candidacy starting on an escalator ride 1 year ago.
Се почна некаде за мене минатото лето, некаде крајот на летото, август или септември месец, кога почна и до мене да стигнуваат тие приказни дека некои дечки од Велес работат, прво беше така објавено, работат на кампања на Доналд Трамп, период во предизборието во Америка. Прво беше чудно како може од каде па до каде сега Велешани работат на кампањата на Трамп со веб-сајтови. Почетокот едноставно не ми се веруваше дека толку големи пари може да се вртат во овој бизнис.
In the week or so since the election, there has been mounting criticism of whether Facebook and Google used enough editorial responsibility in screening out fake news sites.
Turns out that 100 different sites came from teenagers in one small Macedonian town who were looking to make money online and found that the best way to generate shares on Facebook is to publish sensationalist and often false content that caters to Trump supporters.
Големината на целата приказна ја дознав кога почнаа да доаѓаат големите медиуми од Америка и од Европа, пред се тука бе ABC News, дојдоа на крајот до CNN и ред други големи медиумски имиња.
So you run a fake news website?
No.
Yes, you do.
И знаете како, јас и самиот сум новинар, и знам дека многу тешко се одлучуваат таквите големи новинарски имиња да дојдат некаде да снимат сторија, ако тоа не е навистина вредно да се објави.
Instead of studying, teenagers are trying to earn money by writing, setting up news sites, and passing on stories from other fake sites.
We came to Veles to find out who is behind these websites.
The fact that fake news was going more viral towards Election Day than mainstream news reporting is really surprising, and I think something that we should be concerned about.
The whole thing started 4 or 5 years ago. There was one guy, he made a promotion on social media and he said to the people, I will teach you how to learn money on internet. with online marketing. Only you'll have to pay me to visit the course, and I will tell you the formula. I will reveal you the formula, how the whole thing works.
My name is Mirko Ciesielkowski. I loved computers from my early age. I started doing internet work and exploring internet in 1996. It all started when I saw a banner and it said, "Make money online." And I learned some things about that you can make a website, you can get some traffic, put some ads and earn some money. So I dedicated myself for several months and learned something about web design. It was so easy back then because there were no websites online, and the audience was only from the rich countries, from the developed countries, like United States, like other Western countries, English-speaking countries mainly. So it was pure gold. It was at that time that I got an idea that I can teach some of the people in my country, because in Macedonia the average wage is about $500, maybe even less per month. So I started my first course in 2012 and it was an instant hit.
За една година доколко се работи дисциплинирано 4 до 5 часа дневно, значи ще се стигне до $1 месечно.
Some of my first students were young guys from Veles. They decided to write about healthy food, healthy life, and actually they turned out very successful.
Понатък, за 2 години ова сума била смешна, доколко сте дисциплинирани, значи $500 месечно.
And many of their friends wanted to take the course also.
За 5 години нещо вакво, от вакъв тип.
I advise my students to write content and stories aimed at US audience. It is especially important to write a good title for the article. It's very important to be eye-catching, you know. So you can't resist it but click. Some of them get more creative. They actually made up some stories, adapted some true stories, and made their own twist of the story. As an example for a fake story, my wife, she made up a story. The story was about the color of the label of the toothpaste. There were 3 different colors: green, red, and black. It says green color means it's all organic, it's all natural. The other toothpaste containing red color contains some chemicals. It's mainly not recommended for use. And the black color means everything is toxic. You can't use it. We shared that story on some of our Facebook pages, but it continued to spread and spread and spread because everyone is interested what kind of materials he's putting on his toothbrush every day. Please come here and show me the article.
Don't blame me about this, please. I just found some picture on
and she
internet,
found the picture
and I used the picture. I made a post.
So everyone is scared when he reads or she reads about this kind of information. So.
And then, was any of it true or no?
No, it's completely made up. It was her try on fake news, and actually she made I can tell you this number. I know more than $100,000 from just one article.
After Mirko revealed the formula, I got so many people that came to me and asked me to build a websites for them. And then the whole thing spread with websites for sports, for pets, for entertainment, for fashion. And afterwards, the politics came along.
The billionaire businessman Donald Trump made it official today.
I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second.
Donald, is great at the one-liners, but he's a chaos candidate.
I believe in a society where all people do well, not just a handful of billionaires.
Thousands more emails appearing to show the
Director Comey said in his letter he's not certain if these emails are significant.
President Obama this week calling the growing problem of fake news on the internet a threat to democracy.
The Pope is taking a stand against fake and tawdry news.
If we can't discriminate between serious arguments and propaganda, then we have problems.
According to Hillary Clinton, this tiny nation has destroyed
America's democratic tradition.
Well, there's all these stories about, guys over in Macedonia who are running these fake news sites, and I've seen them now, and you sit there and it looks like a, sort of low-level CNN operation. And
or a fake newspaper,
or
like the Denver Guardian.
Like a fake newspaper.
If I ever run for president, I want these same Macedonian campaign consultants who are the geniuses.
Of course, everybody was shocked. What is happening? How is this possible? And then very rapidly, very fast, it was like everybody get into the story, what actually happened.
Сум имал прилика да се сретнам со многу од нив, тоа се млади деца од некаде од 15-16 години па до 26-7 ги има и повозрасни, меѓутоа искрено не сакаат многу да зборуваат, дури на кафе муабет за таа работа. Не ја прераскажуваат работата, не сакаат.
Actually, those guys was mostly working from home in their rooms. Some of them that took my classes years ago, and they are following the main US media about what they say what's the most important stories today. Then they started to make their own twist of the story. They created their own versions.
Тоа е интересно да ви кажам дека најголемиот дел на децата кои што работат, голем дел од нив си средношколци, нивните родители не знаат дека они заработуваат толку пари. Нив заработиле колку што родителите не можат за 5 живота да заработат.
As soon as the word got out that you can earn a lot of money, in just 2 weeks you have everyone in Veles trying to open up and start up a website. 200 euros per month is the minimal wage. And when compared to several thousand euros per month, you don't even have to do the math to realize it's a big difference. When we were starting out, work was divided because there were 3 of us. One of us was assigned with going through sources, through official news websites and finding the most interesting articles, while the other one was writing them and publishing. First was copy and paste, then came rewriting. That was the formula, changing up the title so it can look more appealing and more intriguing, so it can spark up the curiosity in the reader.
These pictures coming in from the Reuters news agency, around 3,000 migrants who spent the night out in the open. They've made several...
We were writing articles about the immigration crisis that was taking place in Europe. They're gonna ruin the economy, stuff like that. There were articles trying to present these people, paint a bad image of these people. And it was not okay. People didn't want to do harm to anyone. They didn't mean anything bad. They didn't feel like affecting someone's election or someone's politics or someone's democracy, but they just wanted to make a quick buck.
The media sphere here has been absolutely deteriorating for over a decade. We have been 31st in the freedom of press just until 2006 and 2007, and now we're on the 118th place. Why? Because our mainstream media here became fake news media. And these people became grown-ups, they became adults in an atmosphere of fake news. So it was something that was a result of the total media darkness the previous government created, and they took control of the media in the country. So again, coming to the issue in Veles, these kids had a very good school from our local situation here.
Тичко е прашањето дали со лажни вести, со фейк ньюс треба да се заработуваат пари, дали со лага треба да се заработуваат пари. Меѓутоа, верувајте дека 90% од дечките кои што работат на сајтови дури не ни знаат добро англиски. Значи дури не ни знаат дека тоа се лажни вести, дури не ни знаат што е американска политика. И баш им беше гајле кој ќе победи на американските избори. Некои од нив се обидуваат да пишуваат за Берни Сандерс, некои од нив се обидуваат да пишуваат про Хилари Клинтон, меѓутоа видува дека тоа не се продава, не се купува страна на. И видува дека клучниот збор е Трамп и клучниот збор е анти-Хилари.
Facebook groups dedicated to Donald Trump, to the Republican Party are huge, and they started sharing their stories in those Facebook groups, getting more traffic. So it all grew from there.
It was basically a group of people and a group of sites that were developed in a very short amount of time. The mechanism was that they were sharing constantly 24/7. There were certain people who would do the writing, certain people who would do the sharing, just because you want everything to go quickly. Then you write another one, posting all these articles. So it's like a machine. What you need in order to earn money is to put all these ad networks on your website, such as Google AdSense. Once those ads are being clicked by somebody who is visiting your website, you do a revenue share with these companies. Even if a person comes to your website, read the article and just read it and not even click on the ads, you're still earning money. It's called paid per impression. And then the other way, which gives you of course more money, would be if the person actually click on the ad that will show up when he's reading that article. So that's called pay per click. When you put like such a big workforce to concentrate on only one thing, then you start getting boosting. You had a post that would get up to 350,000 page views and clicks for only 5 days. That's abnormal. Facebook groups, you have millions of people, right? Like members. So they're gonna see all these big news. Let's say I'm gonna write a news about Hillary being, I don't know, like a pedophile, right? Like the one story that everybody was shaking about. So the people in this particular Facebook group, they're seeing all of the sudden, like these days, is this story about Hillary being a pedophile circulating in all these different domains. Right? So they're gonna be like, oh wow, like everybody are writing about it, so it must be true. It's the same story, but it's like 50 or 100 different domains. It's gonna convince you as somebody who's part of that group that this thing really happened.
Fake news, real gunfire. A North Carolina man arrested in a DC pizza shop after brandishing a gun, telling police he was there to investigate a conspiracy theory called Pizzagate. According to police, Welch said that he had read online that the Comet Ping Pong restaurant was harboring child sex slaves. The accusation came from this unhinged story that originated online days before the election.
For the 2016 election, this was the first time in U.S. history where the majority of Americans received their news not from traditional media outlets. The majority of Americans were receiving their news from social media platforms. And the legacy media outlets were much weaker. They had undergone a series of layoffs, some media outlets, just a complete skeletal staff, so they didn't have the resources to push back against outright falsehoods.
It's hardly news that the newspaper business is on the ropes.
Reporters have been laid off. Circulation has plummeted. The Post has closed bureaus around the country and around the world.
Some papers have folded completely. Others have reduced the number of pages. Virtually an entire industry in free fall.
We see Americans losing trust in the media for a number of reasons. At the same time, media outlets having to struggle with declining revenue, so they can't produce quality journalism. That creates a deadly dynamic for democracy. People are pivoting to social media, which unfortunately incentivizes fake news, salacious news. So you have this kind of social media norm where it's okay to steal another media outlet's story just by changing the headline or a few words. And because of the algorithms, social media confirms people's existing biases. And so people can't even determine what is original journalism anymore.
I started tracking fake news and disinformation shortly after the 2016 election. We started looking every day, trying to find who the particular actors were, and there was an attorney who established, as far as we know, the first fake news website in Macedonia, a website called USA Politics Today, that did traffic in hyper-partisan information and sometimes hoaxes, and other people in town, seeing the success that he had, started launching their own, and it became its own industry.
My name is Traj Arsov, and I am a lawyer, focused on civil law, especially on freedom of speech, defamation. I am very familiar with US politics, with US media. So that's the reason I started the business together with my brother. It was my first idea to start with the political side, especially conservative media, wide conservative media, because I am libertarian. So we started supporting Rand Paul because Rand Paul was our favorite candidate, and also Ted Cruz because he was also closest to our ideas. The conservatives decided to choose Donald Trump to run for their side for president. We was forced to support him. When we start 2050, nobody talk about the elections, nobody talk about candidates. Our content was related about the work for Obama. We talk about all the time what he did wrong. We actually suggest American people what is best for them. I'm not a writer. I'm not the author of any of our articles. That's the reason why I was thinking if you want to go professional, to hire someone from USA. We have had more than 20 so-called journalists from USA and one author from UK. All of them are paid on percentage, so if they can make enough page views, they can get enough money. So all our articles have quality sources where we use the information. More than 50% of the content was taken from Fox News, Breitbart, Washington Examiner, Daily Caller, The Hill, Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, Carlson Tucker.
Who are all speaking the truth.
Yeah, everyone is speaking the truth. Everyone.
The USA Politics Today content did seem to spark a lot of eyeballs from Americans on things that were not true. It had conspiracy theories, stuff about like Hillary Clinton's health, and it also trafficked in flat-out hoaxes, multiple flat-out hoaxes, saying stuff like that the Bible and the Quran are equal, or that Jill Stein endorsed Donald Trump, or that the Supreme Court had banned Sharia law. Sometimes they did so well that they would even reach Facebook's trending topics, making it onto the front page, giving it even wider reach. His pages for his sites had about 2 million followers.
People can expect from that Facebook page all the time quality content. They doesn't care where this content coming from. They are focused on the Facebook page. So I have 2 million followers at my Facebook page. I have in one day more followers than all the media in my country in one day.
Combined.
Yeah.
Wow.
Facebook and Google have come under fire for their supposed role in spreading fake news throughout the election. Now, both companies are making changes to stop this spread of false information.
You bear this responsibility. You've created these platforms, and now they are being misused. And you have to be the ones to do something about it.
I wish I could tell you that we're going to be able to stop all interference, but that just wouldn't be realistic. There will always be bad actors in the world, and we can't prevent all governments from all interference. But we can make it harder.
Suddenly, people were realizing that there was a darker side to Facebook, that it was also a platform for lies and deception. So how Facebook responds and what they do, I think, is still an open question.
Economic actors like the Macedonian trolls that I think we've all heard about, basically folks who don't have an ideological goal, they're just trying to write the most sensational thing they can in order to get people to click on it so they can make money on ads. It's all economics. So the way to fight that is we make it so that they can't run our ads, they can't make money. We make it so that we can detect what they're doing and show it less in newsfeed so they can make less money.
One person's fake news is another person's news. And the idea that Facebook or Google or Twitter could remove things without our knowledge, shouldn't that get us up in arms?
This is out of control, and everybody's really got to have a gut check here. You're being censored, and they say you're a conspiracy theorist.
It's definitely happening, and it's very scary. You have 60% of millennials get the majority of their news from Facebook and that trending timeline.
Breitbart, the news site, has basically lost about 30% of its traffic since that happened. Fox, by the way, is down too.
The golden age of fake news is all going down right now because Facebook is very strict. Many of the websites in Veles were punished. Some of the Facebook pages were deactivated, some websites deleted, and Google refused to pay for some of the revenue, and some of the students lost more than 100,000 for 2 months.
I just traveling to Hungary, to Budapest, that day, on a vacation with my wife. So until I was there, I find out that the Facebook switched the button off. Most of the profit coming from this page was invested into the Facebook page. So the Facebook took down my page, but actually Facebook took down my money. That was a big joke and funny story when I saw about the Russians and any connection with the Russians, with the Macedonians, because I doesn't even know anybody from Russia. We have nothing to do with any Russians or any Russian influence. There is no fake news from Veles, no fake news from Macedonia. Macedonia doesn't create the fake content. There is nothing wrong, there is nothing bad I have done.
Everybody are aware that this is a wrongdoing, that this is damaging the media, the professional journalism, and the final damage is on the society as well. The biggest damage is on the country image, but there is still enormous creation of the fake news, mainly on social media. So we are trying to condemn the fake news. It's simply not a proper way to earn money.
I believe that the blame is divided here. Like it is divided, like part people in Macedonia, part people in America. It might have misinformed a few people, but then again, they should not form opinions and facts based on these posts they see, like random websites. They're not something to base your opinion of.
What we saw in the 2016 election, that's been a microcosm of what's happening globally. We see this in Indonesia with the mayor of Jakarta taken down over essentially fake news. We see this in Myanmar with a genocide being promoted through fake news. We see this in the developing world where there's even less of a media institution for people to turn to.
I think some other countries also did their part of the fake news, but since it all started here in Macedonia, it was all Macedonia to blame, and it was all attention geared towards Macedonia. So maybe, I don't know. Who knows what is our part of that? I think more than 1,000 websites with fake news were made during the period of last 1.5 years. The total amount of revenue from the fake news is more than 50-60 million maybe US dollars. That's a good lesson for them that it's not that hard to go internationally to achieve some success, that you need to be brave, that you need to take action actually and do your part and the money will follow.
I don't need any reward from this. I can say truly that yes, we helped Donald Trump to become president of the United States. The Macedonians did a great job. What I mean that they helped American people suddenly to choose the right way. And I feel that I have done something great. Also, Trump, as a president, should thank all the Macedonians that helped them to be elected as a president of the United States of America.